Hi, Gemini. It's Haley with Tarot from Beyond, here to provide you with your September 1st through 7th reading. I know it looks like I'm doing readings back to back, but I wanted to make sure that I completed your general readings around the time of that full moon so that you guys could set your intentions around that time. So I'm doing your September 1st through 7th reading so that I can let you guys know what a lot of the energy will be like for some of you around that time. So I see the Queen of Pentacles. I see the Three of Wands. The Page of Swords. The Emperor, which is a major arcana. The World, which represents new beginnings. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, so Gemini, what I'm seeing is with your new beginning, as many other zodiacs are doing right now, a lot of your vibrations have raised. When your vibrations raise, you start to notice people around you whose vibrations haven't quite caught up to yours. And what happens sometimes is that you start to realize the inconsistencies in people that have the potential to hinder your growth, okay? And when that happens, you start to realize, hey, this person may be using me. This person may not be fair to me. This person may, and I can't have that, right? Because what I'm seeing is a lot of you are nurturing someone that needs to be walked away from. And like a Page of Swords is basically a messenger of information. So when I see this card, this is spirit, communicating with me, saying that's the information that you needed to give Gemini, is that they're being too nurturing towards somebody that they need to walk away from. Okay, the Emperor represents authority. He's a father-like figure who's been there, done that, and he knows and he's confident in what he knows. The World represents a new beginning, and the Queen of Swords represents somebody who's kind of been through it all and kind of knows what's going on, and she's seen, seen it all before, and she knows what to do intellectually with regards to people in her life that no longer serve her. She's not going to sit there and play nonsensical games with people, okay? So you have the authority, and you have the experience, you know what I mean? To know when someone's not being nurturing back to you, even though you're nurturing them, which is why you're being advised to walk away from anyone who's not going to be where there's no reciprocity. When you're sitting there giving somebody something, they're not giving it back, you're going to start to really notice that. The higher your vibration is, the more these things are going to stick out like a sore thumb. And you're going to be like, nah, 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 nah. The Sun represents happiness, and it represents illumination. The Page of Cups is a messenger of love. And the Two of Swords really does represent decisions. You have two intellectual choices to make. It represents choices that you make with your mind, not with your heart. The Three of Pentacles represents building something for yourself. This card means that you've kind of shut down a little bit, And this card means anxiety. Okay, so Gemini, let me see what's happening here. Obviously, you guys have a decision to make, right? Am I going to be with this person that's immature in love? Because I don't have to do reversals to know that, if this were in reverse, it would mean that you're not happy. But since I don't do reversals, this card means that what's being illuminated for you and what you need to know is being provided to you in this reading. This relationship that you're in is causing you now to start to shut down. It's causing you to be full of anxiety because the person that you're with is very, has a lot more to experience in order to be able to have the tools, in their arsenal bag to give you what you need in this relationship. So you're trying to build something for yourself. So you have a decision to make. Are you going to build something for yourself or put all your energy into this immature person who, inflicts anxiety and you unable to fill your cup of love for yourself and others? Or, are you going to choose happiness and being able to build something for yourself? Because where your energy goes, that's where it flows, Gemini. If you're giving all your energy to somebody else who's not giving you back what it is that you've given them, you're going to see that it's an unbalanced situation, and you're going to start to, it has the potential to perpetuate feelings of resentment. Like, wait a minute, I've helped you so much. How come you can't help me right now? So it's your choice if you're going to allow yourself to be in a situation that's fair, because that's what justice means, fairness. Okay, this also means a give and take, the concept of give and take, and this means focus and self-discipline. So yes, Gemini, for some of you, you guys are going to have to be focused and self-disciplined on making sure that whatever relationships you enter into, that person understands the concept of give and take, that they are willing to give you just as much as you've given them. It's so funny. People let you borrow their umbrella on a sunny day, but then let it start raining. They'll snatch that umbrella right away from you, even though you've given them umbrellas and put your sweater over your head to help them out at times. You've contorted your lifestyle to some degree in order to assist them. However, now it's time for them to assist you, and they're not doing it. And you know why they're not doing it? Because they haven't experienced what you've experienced spiritually to be able to identify the fact that this is an unbalanced situation. It's just not a fair situation to be in. That's what justice means. Fairness. It's not fair. Scales are not balanced in this relationship. Okay? Remember, you're powerful and resourceful. You don't have to be in any situation that you don't want to be in. So for those of you who feel like, well, if I leave this person, they're not all bad. They do help me here, and they do help me there, and they do help me sometimes. Yeah, but even if I get that. I totally get that, because that's what makes it so difficult to actually pull the plug on situations that really are not serving you at the end of the day. They're really not going to serve you at the end of the day. I get it. It makes it difficult because the person's not all bad. You have to understand, some people are really crafty, and they know how to ride the gravy train. The way that they ride the gravy train, by being with you and taking everything that you have to give them, they know that they got to give you a little bit so that it's not so obvious that they're riding the gravy train, right? So what they do is they give you just enough, and that's their leverage to stay in your space. But you need to understand that you're powerful and you're resourceful, and you don't need them for anything, because all they're going to do is continue to mess around with your mind and be all in your space and take energy away from what you could be doing, which is actually leading you to your dreams and fulfilling your dreams, Gemini. Okay, this means that something has to end in order for something to begin, right? This also means, Gemini, that somehow, some way, somewhere, there's some addiction present. Rather it be you or rather it be the person that we're referring to, something comes first for this person, right? So what needs to end in order for something to begin is either, some of you may have some habits of your own, that maybe even this relationship kind of contributes toward. Because you know what? This could mean, addiction to sex. This could mean addiction to anything. But you know what? It usually means the obvious, addiction to substances and things of that nature. And I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're not fulfilled in a relationship and you love the person and you want things to get better even though they're not, a lot of times people go to substances to fill that gaping hole that they have in the relationship. It's like the relationship is actually assisting in your desire to maybe use substances. Or maybe this person is using substances, and that's why they're so selfish and unable to give you what it is that you've been able to give them. So it's up to you to decide if this is something that you're going to tolerate or not in your life, or if this is something that you want in your life. The Hierophant means that some of you need to go to people or find someone who knows more than you, okay? There's always people who know more than you. So this means that some of you need to go to somebody who knows more than you. This is actually really an indicator that, this either I just got the feeling that this is an indicator that some of you need some assistance in really understanding this situation and getting some counseling with regard, some spiritual guidance or whatever with regards to the situation that you guys are in. Because you guys are tired of fighting with somebody with regards to the concept of give and take in this relationship. Keeps you up at night at times. It creates anxiety. And maybe, that anxiety is causing you to either lash out at them or or whenever you confront them about their behavior, they lash out at you. So Gemini, for those of you who feel as though you need some counseling or that you need, to be able to, get some assistance and some clarity in the situation you're in, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to reach out. Because, like I've said in so many other readings, and it's so true, is that, the King of Cups is like the king of knowing how to love people despite their problems, despite the crap they bring to the table, right, Gemini? And a lot of times we're better at loving other people than we are at loving ourselves. Sometimes we're a lot more fair to others than we are to ourselves. And I feel as though that would, the counseling that you would get from somebody who knows more than you. I'm telling you, it feels so good to be able to talk to somebody who is talking to you because they really want to help you. They're talking to you because they really want to assist you. They're not talking to you because they really want anything out of you. They're talking to you because they want to help you. I feel like some of you should be reaching out so that you could go ahead and get from up under situations, because I feel like whoever the heck this is tries to use some form of leverage to stay in your life. You know what I mean? Because this means sabotage and betrayal, and your harvest coming up short. Love is now becoming a double-edged sword now, being with this person. Because, when you love somebody and you know how to love people despite whatever they got going on, it becomes a double-edged sword when you know how to do that. Because sometimes you just don't know quite when to let the relationship go. Because you know that people aren't perfect, and you're saying to yourself, well, this person's not perfect, so just because they're not perfect doesn't mean that I have to leave, Some of you are saying that, and the thing is that it's now snowballed into a huge problem, and it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And so for those of you who would like to go into your personal readings, into your personal cards and talk about your personal life, trust me, the turnaround time with me is not that long at all. I know that if you pursue a private reading with me, it's because you need clarity now and not later. So I'm not going to put you on no waiting list and then sit here and say, oh, yeah, I'll be with you next week. No, you'll likely either get your reading that evening or the following day. Because that's what I'm here to do, offer clarity and help you really dissect the situation you're in so that you can come to a comfortable conclusion on your own. All right? Okay, Gemini, I hope that this resonated with those of you who are in similar situations, and I hope that it offered clarity, and I hope that it gave you the validation that you were looking for, because a lot of you were probably feeling that some certain things were happening that you weren't quite sure about. To go into this card means that somebody is either running your name through the mud, or they are doing things behind your back, that will later come back to you in some type of negative way. They are literally trying to kill you with the things they're saying to you and with the thoughts that they are actually provoking in you. All right? So, Gemini, I ask that you take care, and I will talk to you next week. All right? Take care, Gemini.